Hello subscribers, welcome to our October game releases video. It's going to be an awesome month, so buckle up. First game we have is the first of many pretty big games coming out in October. Resident Evil 6 coming out on October 2nd for the PS3 and Xbox.
So this is going to be my probably favorite game of this month. Resident Evil 5, most people should remember, was a huge game, one of their biggest hits. They just came out with HD remakes, about 3 of them, so everyone pretty much knows what it is. It's a third-person horror game, but it's not third-person like the Gears of War normal third-person kind of style. It's almost like a GTA kind of thing. It's got its own control layout. It's the only game I've played like that.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. The fact that you can't move and shoot at the same time makes it pretty intense, actually.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know, but hopefully they fix that. I don't think it did that in Resident Evil 4. I don't remember.
I'm not sure, but
I don't think it did.
It's $60, so.
So yeah, it's worth it. $60. It's biggest game of the month to me.
All right, now we've got NBA 2K13 or 2013 coming out also in the second. Coming out for just a couple consoles. The Xbox 360, obviously, the Wii, PS3, PSP, Windows, not on the Vita apparently, yet it's coming out on the Wii U.
And the PSP. It's a basketball game this year, believe it or not. They're mixing it up. It's not a soccer game anymore.
No, not like the NBA last year.
Actually, NBA 2K12 was one of the highest rated games in, I think, history.
Yeah, so the 2K NBA games are really good, actually.
Yeah, so it's coming out. It's gonna actually got quite a few prices here. $60 for the PS3 and Xbox, $30 for PC. I don't know why it's so cheap for that. It must suck on computer. $40 for the Wii, $20 for the PSP, and the PS3 and Xbox can get a collector's edition for $100.
And I just wanted to throw this out there. You should really buy your sports games on the computer. That would be amazing. Like in mods and stuff like that. That'd be like the coolest thing ever. I'm just saying.
The controls would kind of suck. You'd buy a gamepad.
Yeah.
Just hook your controller up to your computer if you're gonna do that.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. All right, next game we have is Fable. No, I'm just kidding. Pokemon Black and White 2 is coming out on October 7th for the DS. Still a DS, not the 3DS.
Yeah, there's something weird about that. Okay, just before we go any further, I really think, all the 3DS failure, they're losing money and stuff. If they put Pokemon on the 3DS, they'd probably double their sales.
Yeah.
But anyone who's just buying DSs for or for Pokemon, you don't have to buy a 3DS yet.
So basically Black and White 2, they sort of improved on a whole bunch of things in the game. I could talk about it for a long time, but I won't here because there's lots of games coming out this month. But it's $35.
It's pretty expensive for a little DS
but
game
you
that has
will get
10
hundreds
pixels
of hours,
on the screen.
Hundreds of hours out of it. But anyway, this is my pick of the month: Pokemon Black and White 2.
You can't pick 2 games.
Pokemon White 2 is my pick of the month.
Okay, so next up we have the next Fable game, Fable The Journey, coming out October 9th, 2012 to just Xbox once again, as always. It's a Kinect-only game, which kind of looks like they blew it, so...
Yeah, it's probably not going to be very good just because it's on Kinect.
Yeah, again, it doesn't look... some games are meant to be Kinect games, the sports games are meant to have motion controls. This kind of game is not. The clips, some guy riding a horse and shaking his arms to make the horse go, to shake the reins.
I just got this image.
Fun.
I just got this image in my head of someone at work all day waiting to get home to sit on the couch by themselves and shaking their arms in front of the TV to play the game.
So
oh my God.
Anyway, it's a role-playing game. Everybody should know what Fable is by now. If you don't, I would recommend buying one of the older ones, not this one. And it's going to be $50. $10 cheaper. There's probably
I wonder why. All right, next game we have coming out in October on the 9th is called Dishonored, coming out for the PC, PS3, and Xbox. Sorry, Steve Jobs, as always.
Do any games come out to the Mac? They have Solitaire.
I bet they have Angry Birds.
Do they even have Solitaire? Anyway, it's an action-adventure game coming out for $60. So, It actually looks like a pretty cool game. It's not the best graphics. It's kind of low level on that, but it still looks like it's a lot of fun. It's I don't know, the look. It kind of reminded me of BioShock in a way.
Yeah, the original BioShock. It looks a little similar.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it looks like a cool game. I'd recommend it if you're into that kind of game. Okay, so next up we got XCOM Enemy Unknown, October 9th yet again. Windows, PS3, and Xbox coming out too. No Wii or Mac. It's no games. Okay. Anyway, real time. It's a strategy game. It's apparently a remake of UFO Enemy Unknown from like 1994.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyone who knows those games or the other XCOM games, looks like a cool game. What do you think, Alex?
It looks like a pretty cool strategy game. It's made by, I think it's a Fire Axis.
Yeah,
the same people that make all the Civilization games, and those are really good games.
Yeah, they make every Sid Meier games and nothing else.
Yeah, basically. So those are awesome games. So I don't know. It looks pretty promising.
Yeah. So it's $60 coming out soon. Now we've got Code of Princess, another October 9th game coming to the 3DS. This is our first 3DS so far, and I think it's actually the only one. It's a action role-playing game. Kind of the fighting looks like any kind of side-scrolling fighting game, Tekken, Street Fighter, those Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it looks it's coming in from Japan, so it looks very Japanese, very like anime-like. So it should be pretty good. It's $40. I don't honestly know too much about it, but I'm sure
portable games are pretty expensive. Like,
well,
it's just a little game that they have to shrink down to half a video on YouTube because the resolution's so bad.
It's in 3D, man. It has like a game for each eye, and they're different. They're fusing together.
Okay, so now October 16th, Doom 3 BFG Edition's coming out to Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360. Basically, it's a remake of the original Doom 3, which everybody should know by now what these games are. Everyone knows Doom. They're classic horror games. So, Alex, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm pretty sure BFG stands for Big Effing Game Edition. Okay, sorry. $40 on the PS3 or Xbox, $30 for the Windows.
So it's a reasonable price. Anyone who's a fan of these games will probably be out for this. Yeah, like I said, they're huge hits when they were
you know what it is, and it's just sort of a new version of it, probably in HD and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's got huge updated resolution and stuff, so it's basically just HD release of Doom 3.
All right, now we have a Vita game. It's Silent Hill: Book of Memories, which I believe is the first Silent Hill game on the Vita coming out on the 16th. Obviously what Silent Hill is, and now it's on the Vita. Yay.
Yeah, we've, I don't know, I think it's like the fourth Silent Hill game we've actually covered in these videos.
Yeah.
The HD remake came out not that long ago. And I'm trying to remember what game came out to the consoles. It might have actually been this one, Book of Memories. But, they don't have a price yet. I don't really know what that's all about, so we'll keep looking for that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool horror game, so anyone who likes the Silent Hill games, this just a handheld version. So, following up these Kinect hits, I've got another Xbox exclusive, Dance Central 3, coming out October 16th, 2012. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. You get up in front of the little camera on the Kinect and dance. So,
for all of these Kinect games, I just have these visions of people sitting there by themselves playing on the Kinect, and it's really sad.
Yeah, it may not seem so much like when you're playing it, but when someone walks up behind you and you're like doing a Kinect game or something and you're just like dancing in the middle of the floor, it doesn't look like as cool if they don't see the screen. Don't realize that you're dancing along to the game, getting some points here. But coming out for $50, so I don't know. If you like to dance, then Dance Central's coming to the Kinect.
Like being in the center of the dance. Get Dance Central 3.
Next up is 007 Legends. It's a new James Bond game coming to Windows, PS3, Xbox 360. And it's coming out October 16th again. Wii U will come out eventually, but the Wii U's not out yet, so the release date's still to be announced for that one. It's coming out for $50 to the consoles it's coming to. And
it actually looks pretty cool. It's going to take the stories of 6 James Bond movies and like tie them together somehow into like one sort of long story. That's pretty cool. Like,
I remember like one of those older James Bond games where there was that really, really short guy and the controls were really bad in the game, so it was like impossible to look down, and if you were looking forwards you couldn't hit the little guy.
Yeah.
But then when you look down, you'd like hold it down or he'd go back to the middle.
Oh, yeah.
So anyone who picked this little guy was the most overpowered player in history.
Well, I remember in the like old James Bond games for the N64 were like awesome. So I mean, you know, there's a possibility this game could be really good, but you never know. Next game we have coming out on October 23rd, Xbox 360 exclusive, is Forza Horizon, which is a racing game. Obviously, they're pretty popular. $60 for the normal game and $80 for the collector's edition.
Well, Forza's established itself by now as one of the biggest racing series there is, behind games like Need for Speed. Some would argue Forza ahead of Need for Speed. So anyone who's into the racing games or just wants to try one out, these are really good games to try. It has Kinect support, but doesn't require it. So if you don't
play by yourself, Kinect.
If you don't want to have to drive by sitting in like your chair and pretending with a fake steering wheel, then you can use the controller or the real steering wheel still.
All right, next game we have is Medal of Honor Warfighter, which I think is the most generic name ever, but whatever. October 23rd, it's coming out for $60 on the Windows, PS3, Xbox,
On the Windows,
and Wii U sometime down the road.
like literally, your windows on the wall are gonna get Medal of Honor. So yeah, but the name, literally, these companies that come up with the name, there's like a whole wall that has like war terms, and they all just throw darts at it.
Yeah,
So
I know they're running out of generic military names
to come up with names for their games,
like Warfighter.
But yeah. Anyway, Medal of Honor is really established. I mean, how old are these games now? Like coming up in 20 years, 15? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
well, they used to be
old.
more popular than Call of Duty. Then Call of Duty came around and destroyed it.
Yeah, well, it was already dying before then. But anyway, it's another first-person shooter. Obviously, they haven't changed that. Coming out $60, so it's a pretty cool game. The 2010 one was pretty good. It's for some reason it seemed like an old game. Like it was kind of lacking in some ways, but it was actually still a lot of fun. So I'd recommend this one.
Street Fighter X Tekken that we talked about previously is now coming out on the Vita on the 23rd. So
Yeah, we actually talked about this in, I think it was March releases. I don't know, it's an old game.
So
like, well, obviously it's not like an 80s game.
Yeah.
We did it a while ago, one of our first videos. That was our second video.
So it's finally getting ported over to the Vita, which is probably pretty good because the Vita, since it's a pretty strong portable system, fighting games and stuff like this look actually really good on it.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, Assassin's Creed 3, one of the probably the biggest hits of the month. I don't know, it's probably the biggest. Coming out October 30th, so right near the end of the month. Xbox 360 and PS3, and then in November it's coming out to the Wii and Windows. I think that's a little weird that it's coming out on Wii in November though, because the Wii U comes out in November.
I'm pretty sure the Wii would like explode actually if you used Assassin's Creed 3. You know, I think it is the Wii U actually. Assassin's Creed 3, I guarantee it's coming out on the Wii U, so we screwed all that up. Anyway, Assassin's Creed 3 is probably the biggest game of the month for most people, I would assume. You know, maybe Pokemon or something else, but Resident Evil. But Assassin's Creed 3 is probably the biggest game coming out. But it actually looks pretty amazing. So the new setting and environments, it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, so I mean, most people should know by now what it is. It's an open world action adventure game, and standard price $60. So
yeah. So I'd definitely recommend this one.
Okay, everybody, huge game here. Lego Lord of the Rings. This is, I don't know, it's gonna be nuts. I know I said that about Lego Batman a while ago, but this is gonna be 10 times better. This is Lord of the Rings, so it's coming out October 30th too. Nice Halloween present. It's coming out to, holy crap, it's coming out to Windows, Wii, 3DS, the Vita, the PS3, the old DS, and the 360. So yeah, it's a action adventure game. It's what they call it, but I mean, really, it's just little Lego men walking around.
There's a lot of actually replayability and stuff like this, and like collecting stuff and getting new players. It's pretty awesome.
These games, like to actually get all the collector stuff, are actually pretty long games.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to like master.
The storyline you can go through really fast, but to actually beat it 100%. Anyway, it's $60 for the two consoles, or Xbox and PS3 and PC. $40 for the Vita, Wii, and 3DS, and then $30 for the classic DS.
I remember these Lego games are actually really awesome. Like way back in like middle school, we were all playing like Lego.
Okay, I've already heard this story on Lego Batman.
We're gonna say it again. We're gonna hear it again. Playing Lego Indiana Jones on like the PSP, and then we all kind of sort of made fun of one kid because he was playing it on the DS, and it looked really bad compared to the PSP.
Yeah, it became from a from a 3D game to a side scroller when you bought the DS one.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But anyway, it looks pretty awesome. All right, now we have WWE 13 coming out on October 30th.
It's a wrestling game. Can you believe that? It's a wrestling game.
The genre is wrestling. So not too much competition.
That caught me off guard when I saw that. Anyway, yeah, so it's coming out same day, October 30th. Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii. $60 for the PS3 and Xbox, and $50 for the Wii. So it's actually, for most Wii games, it's actually pretty expensive. They usually come out at $40.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
But it's WWE. I mean, there's a lot of huge fans out there, so it's definitely one of the most popular games or series out there. They do one every year, and they keep selling good. Okay, so Need for Speed Most Wanted, they're doing a remake this month. It's from like 2005, I think. It was one of the good Need for Speeds. Well, there aren't really any really bad Need for Speeds that I know of, but this is one of the higher ones. It's also coming out October 30th. We're ending the month with these games. It's coming out on Windows, PS3, Xbox 360, the Vita, and for all you phone gamers out there, it's coming out to iOS and Android.
Those are obviously going to be the best versions of the game.
Yeah, we don't have prices for those ones yet, but for PlayStation 3, Xbox, and Windows, it's $60 as usual, and the Vita is $40. So those are pretty much the standard prices.
I'm wanted, dead or alive. I'm sorry, I should really stop singing.
Most Wanted.
Most Wanted, yeah. Now that we're done with all those awesome games from October,
it was
quite a few.
Overwhelming. I'm tired.
It's probably going to be like the best month, really of the
by.
year. I know, video took forever, but we're going to talk about our favorite games of September.
Okay, wait, before we do this, I just realized we have just broken like the 15. We're in 16 minutes of video here, so yeah, this is the longest gaming releases video we've ever done.
I know. This is like just so much good content packed in.
And we keep stretching it longer. Anyway, so my favorite game was Borderlands 2. It hasn't come out yet, but I just know from Borderlands 1 how sick this is going to be. I've looked at all the new features, new classes. The new skill tree actually looks sick. Like the interface for it, the way it like scrolls through and stuff. Anyone who's played Borderlands 1 knows what I'm talking about. The games honestly look pretty bad, but apparently the graphics were actually designed as a really realistic thing at first. They did the cartoony thing as like they changed it as their choice. So they actually are a lot of fun even though they don't look that good. It's actually the only RPG shooter out there, I think.
Yeah, it's probably maybe like Fallout, but
that's more like an action game.
Yeah, action open world game. I'm gonna choose NHL 13 just because they really improved on it a lot, and they're really sort of getting close to actually being.
It got worse reviews than
like
NHL 12. So
it got slightly lower reviews than NHL 12. Here. But it's probably a better game. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, obviously, like it's worse reviews because a year's gone by. Like,
yeah, it is a lot better.
An 82 now is better than an 86 last year.
Yeah, for sports games, definitely. All right, and with that, we're gonna end the best month of most likely the year. And thanks for watching, guys.
Longest video
so far. Like and subscribe.
YouTube has like that thing where if you go over 15 minutes, you got to like enter your phone number or something. We never did that, and then all of a sudden it just gave us a message saying we could do 15 minutes, so we're all good, but this is quite a long video.
I got an email saying we'll be at your house soon, which is a little scary. But okay, guys, like and subscribe, tell your friends. See you next time.